All right, guys, so if you've seen the title, then you already know what's going on here, right? We're going to be responding to this video. And here's the thing. I made an initial reaction to this, but I wasn't really satisfied with it. So I decided to basically redo it by, having these voiceovers with it. So, but this video is so shit that that I get angry. I got angry while doing the voiceovers anyways. So, yeah. But my initial reaction was pretty much the same as what the voiceovers I'm redoing. The difference is that like I'm getting in a little more informed. Because I have played like a shit ton of Left 4 Dead, but I do it for fun. I don't know all this crazy shit. I don't think about all this other stuff. I just play it for fun, right? So, but in order for this response to be pretty decent, I went back, researched some stuff, and just had a better thought process while going through this. But yeah, so the video is by Smoovers. This guy's insane, and you're about to see. Another thing though, and this is something that's pretty fucking funny. He actually deleted the video, right? Because I looked through my history, it's not there. I looked through his videos, it's not there. This motherfucker, he said in the comments that he would not delete the comments because that's cowardly. But this motherfucker ended up deleting the video. So I don't know, man. Looks like he went back on his word in an even worse way. But I mean, that's pretty fucking funny. Now, if he deleted it because of harassment, that's fucked up. Don't fucking do that. But if he did it because he's a then I'm absolutely fine with that. So yeah, but let's get into the video and see what's up. You're gonna see how absolutely insane this guy is. So yeah. Also, real quick, one thing to note is that I've actually played Back 4 Blood. I played it when it came out because I had it on Game Pass, and then I played it like a week or two ago because my uncle bought me it, and he wasted the money, so I might as well make it so that he didn't actually waste any money, right? So I gave it like an hour or two of gameplay. Still hated it, by the way, right? I played it when it came out, hated it back then. I gave it like a good 3-4 hours of gameplay before I decided to stop. Here, I give it another hour and a half, like a week ago, where there's like added stuff like those like hive stuff, hive caves, and the hive cave is pretty cool, but even though there was some new stuff to experience, it still wasn't enough for me to really like the game. So yeah, still shit game in my opinion. But yeah, anyways, let's get to the actual video. Here we go.
Mr. Science Mover here. Left 4 Dead 2 is a walking simulator. Now, Don't get me wrong, some of my favorite games are walking simulators. If you haven't played it, a good one I would recommend is The Beginner's Guide. There's no strategy or puzzles or challenging gameplay mechanics. You just walk forwards and experience the story.
Okay, so right here, this is the craziest thing already. He's comparing Left 4 Dead 2 to The Beginner's Guide, and I am familiar with The Beginner's Guide. Great game, sorta. It's not really a game, but yeah. I really have no idea how to, what to comment on here, because, what the hell am I supposed to say? Left 4 Dead 2 is nowhere near similar. That's like comparing, I don't know, God of War to this, right? To Beginner's Guide. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. So, yeah, this is insane. We're just gonna go ahead and move on to his next, thing, because this is crazy.
Immediately, the video goes from 26 minutes and 16 seconds all the way down to 6 minutes and 56 seconds. Now you may say, but Mr. Science Mover, I love all of that immersion. It makes it feel like a movie. To which I say, yes, that's my point. The creators of Left 4 Dead 2 really put most of their effort into making the game a cinematic experience, rather than making it a fun experience.
So this shit is just objectively wrong, right? They spent a decent amount making it cinematic, but they also spent a lot of time on the gameplay. You don't this is insane. All of that is told in the Crowcat video. And in the whatchamacallit, have you ever seen the developer stuff? What was it called? I don't know, but there's a mode in Left 4 Dead 2 where you could go through, I think it's the parish, and they'll basically, I don't know if it's every level, but the one I always went through was the parish, and you could basically have the developer commentary on why they made certain decisions in the game. A lot of it is to make the gameplay fun and challenging, right? Like this is crazy. They spent more time making it cinematic than fun. No, bro. They spent a lot of time on the gameplay. Most of it on the gameplay. That cinematic stuff. It's flair. That's flair. That's at the end. Like, this is insane to say. Like, I get. There's no way you really played it. Man, this is crazy. Let's continue.
The amount of effort put into zombie fall animations and character facial expressions that you'll probably never even see just goes to show that Left 4 Dead 2 is really just a movie where you control the camera.
Bro, this has got to be like satire, or he's got to be joking. Like, there's no freaking way, man. Like, a movie where you control the camera, this man did not play the game. Or if he did, he played it on super easy mode, no special infected, like nothing, no hordes. Like, there's you can't say that. You cannot say that and be serious. You just can't. It doesn't make it. It's not real. This isn't real. Like, there's so much you have to do. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't know. This is crazy. This is crazy. Let's just keep going. And I know I'm not getting specific into what you need to do, but like, it's just hard to know how to get specific into it when, if you played the freaking game, you know what it is that you need. Like, you're shooting zombies. If there's a horde coming, you can throw a boomer bile. You can set them up, so that you could gun them down. But you also got to watch for special infected. Like, it's not that easy because you have special infected. Like, this is, I don't know. This is crazy. Like, there's a lot to it, and this is wild.
Gameplay. Going back to our new truncated Crobat video, let's remove everything that the video claims Back 4 Blood doesn't have, but which it actually does. Yeah. You've got a lazy comparison between two honestly very different specials and Versus campaign. Granted, Back 4 Blood does not in fact have a Versus campaign, and Swarm is, well, not a replacement. But allow me to address the 3 complaints I removed here. First, we have bot AI. Back 4 Blood's bot AI has historically suffered as the game has a very high skill ceiling, and trying to emulate a player is near impossible. For example, one complaint the Back 4 Blood community had was that on a team of 4 people, you'd start with 4,000 copper to share between you. In solo, you'd only have 1,000 copper. That's an issue for sure, but it's not an issue that Left 4 Dead 2 ever had to deal with. Their solution was to have no shop. I fail to see how the solution to a slightly unbalanced mechanic is not attempting it at all.
Alright, so here's a 2-for-1. So on the bot AI thing, Left 4 Dead 2 doesn't have like the greatest bots, but for the most part, they help. They help a lot. You can play solo and you can get the job done. You cannot play solo on Back 4 Blood. The bots are way too shit in order to actually support you. Like, you really can't. Maybe they're better now, but speaking from experience on the whatchamacallit, when the game came out, they did not help you. Right, and I never played easy. I did. I tried easy once after trying like normal or whatever the hell it's called. I think it's like veteran, right? And it was too easy, right? It was too easy, so I was like, okay, let me just do veteran. And no matter how much I did veteran, I just could not get past. Like, I could do like the first chapter, and I think that was it, right? Like, I couldn't get past like the second chapter. And that's because the bots just aren't helpful. It wasn't all the time that I could have like a full squad. The most part, it was just like 3 of us and then 1 bot. But a decent amount of times I played, with maybe just one of my brothers. So it was us 2 and then 2 bots. And yeah, it just doesn't work, bro. It just doesn't. The bots are worse than the Left 4 Dead ones, and the Left 4 Dead ones can be pretty damn bad. But like I said, for the most part, they do help. They help a lot. They will get you out of situations. There's very few situations where the bots like totally wet the bed, right? But for the most part, they will get you out of like a special infected's grasp. Like they know how to help you. But in comparison, yeah, there is no comparison. The Left 4 Dead 2 bots are just better. They do better. They work better. They kill special infected faster than you sometimes. Like it's just way better. But it's like, yeah, like I said, it's, yeah. Oh, and I forgot. The other point on the whole shop system, like, people didn't even People weren't clamoring for a shop back in Left 4 Dead days. Like, these games weren't made at the same time. You know that, right? That point doesn't make any sense. Like, of course it didn't have a shop. No one was thinking about having a shop. In fact, I think the shop's idea is stupid, right? But whatever. Like, you want to have a shop, you have a shop. It doesn't really matter. But I don't know. I think it's kind of dumb. In general. Plus, like I said, with how Left 4 Dead is, I mean, you don't need one. You really don't need one. And yeah, that's why I didn't. I don't know. Like, the way he worded it sounds like this was, something that people wanted. Nobody wanted this. Nobody wanted the shop. Yeah, it's just out of the equation, man. It's such a weird point. Like, these games were made, like, Left 4 Dead's like 20-something years old or whatever. People weren't thinking about that back then.
Left 4 Dead 2 fans like to call the system that controls the enemy AI the G, D game director. As if any other system can't level up just because you gave this one a special name.
I've straight up never heard anyone make that point, and I'm pretty sure no one ever has. So I don't know. That's pretty random, man. I think you're the only one who really thinks that. Like, I don't know. That's weird. That doesn't make any sense. No one's ever said that before.
But I digress. Back 4 Blood has its own game director in the form of the card system. Left 4 Dead 2 fans like to claim that their game director can sense how well you're doing and send you more or fewer zombies depending on your progress. If you're struggling, it will calm the horde, and if you're doing too well, it'll send you more. Back 4 Blood doesn't have this adaptive game director, and that's a good thing. If I can't beat the game on the difficulty I set it to, then I want to at least know that the next time I play, I'll have learned and gotten better. Until finally I can beat it. And when I do finally get there, I want to know that my hard work has paid off, and I can reach the top of that mountain. This is only possible if difficulty is standardized.
Alright, so from the perspective of someone who's played at the beginning, this is absolute total bullshit, right? Like, the card system changes so much of the gameplay every time you play, the same level, that it's pretty much not the same anymore. There's no mistakes to learn from because it changes so much. Like, you can't learn from the same mistakes when there are a bunch of, different mutations that play out every time you play the same level. That's like the whole point of the card system, is that the level isn't the same, so that there's more replayability, And part of the difficulty came out with the fact that you were basically getting swamped. Like, no matter the difficulty, you were getting swamped by a shit ton of special infected. That's like the regular infected, whatever. The issue was that there were so many specials coming at you every fucking second. Like, that's how it was really shit at launch. Like, no matter what you say, at launch, it was super shit. Maybe now it's better. I don't know. Like, I played it like a couple weeks ago because my I think I already said it, but like, my uncle got me it, so I have to fucking play it with him. But like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's better, but like, yeah, before, at launch, it was super shitty, and it really wasn't, like, the difficulty was really not because of, like, I don't know, anything good. It was really just because you were getting swamped, and there's nothing to learn, like I said, because the game changes so much. So yeah, it's not accurate, man.
If hard mode actually scales back down to easy mode, and easy mode actually scales up to hard mode, then are there really any difficulty settings at all?
What? Okay, bro. This guy needs to actually play Left 4 Dead 2.
Do I really get a choice of what difficulty to play, or is it all an illusion?
Alright, this is crazy, bro. But to keep it short, the difficulty in Left 4 Dead 2 does matter, though. Like, it's super simple. Like, the higher the difficulty, the more damage you take. There you go. Like, yes, the director makes the game, like, harder or easier, but that's to keep it balanced, right? Like, if you're really good and the director doesn't change, then it's going to just be a cakewalk. So the better you get, the harder it makes it. But, easy is still going to be easy. Like, they can send hordes at you in easy, but like, if you're a really good player, those hordes won't matter. The special infected you're going to come after won't matter because it doesn't do as much damage as it does in the harder modes, right? Like, you get more damage from enemies, and I'm pretty sure you get more damage from allies, but if that's not the case, then it's just that in the harder difficulties, you have friendly fire. But I'm pretty sure that you take more damage from friendly fire in the harder difficulties, like advanced and expert. There you go. Disproven. No.
Ultimately, Back 4 Blood's game director actually listens to your preferred difficulty. It will vary gameplay between what specials show up, what patches of birds show up where, what loot spawns, and etc., but it won't tell you how to play. You are in control of the game. In Left 4 Dead 2, the game controls you, and that's because you're not a player, you're a viewer. Next, let's address the flashlights issue. It's true that in Back 4 Blood you can't voluntarily toggle your flashlight, which is a bit annoying when trying to see into a car or other small unlit spaces. As well, your flashlight will always be facing forward, even if you're reloading or using a melee weapon. Although, as a player, I can't imagine that would be fun not being able to see just because I'm using a hatchet. So once again, points to Back 4 Blood for ignoring realism where it counts.
No, not points, and I'm gonna explain why. Although I shouldn't even have to, because you brought up the Crobcat video, you sectioned it off, so it should be obvious as to why flashlights are realistic in Left 4 Dead, right? But I don't know. For some reason, you're just ignoring it. Like, you have to be on purpose. But to explain it real quick, the reason the flashlights are the way they are is because they're on your gun, right? So whenever you're reloading in a dark place, you're not going to be able to see zombies coming at you. Do you know why they do that? It's not so that it can annoy you or for realism. It's to promote gameplay, which is what they do. Like, yes, the game is cinematic, but a lot of those cinematic elements promote certain types of gameplay. And that isn't just realistic, right? It's also so that you always are around teammates. If you need to reload, you tell your teammate, hey, I need to reload, so that they can cover you because you can't see shit. That's the reason that whenever you reload or whatever, you know, your flashlight goes up, right? Or you can't see. It's so that you can always stick around your team to promote to promote being a team. That's it. Simple as that, man. Like, it's a co-op shooter, bro. It's promoting, that fact. So I don't know. This is a stupid point. Like, if you watch the Crobcat video, then you'd already know. The guy says it in the video. The developer says it. This is insane.
And because for some reason this was important, the lights do cast shadows. There's just an option to turn it off, because it looks so good, and Unreal Engine is so much more pristine than the grunge of Source, that it might cook your computer.
Yeah, no, you're not correct here, bro. And it's honestly kind of a weird, like, flex. It doesn't really make sense. Like, first of all, the shadows from Left 4 Dead do look really fucking good. Like, they still look amazing if you've seen the damn video. And I don't know about the shadows on, Back 4 Blood, but I prefer the Left 4 Dead ones. Not to mention that, Left 4 Dead shadows aren't going to cook your computer like Back 4 Bloods will. I don't know how that's a flex. It's a flex that just turning on shadows for the game is going to take a lot out of your computer. That sounds like a weird flex to me, man. I don't know.
Lastly, there's a strange focus on audio cues for some reason.
Yeah.
But while we don't always get the movie-like piano notes of Left 4 Dead 2, Back 4 Blood does have the more realistic, distant rumbling and screaming of roaming specials. Something you would learn from actually playing the game.
So this is also addressed in the Crobcat video, this is crazy, bro. I know this guy didn't watch it. This guy didn't watch it, and he definitely didn't play enough of Left 4 Dead 2. Because this is psychotic, right? Like, this is idiotic, psychotic, whatever the hell you want to say, man. But, like, yeah, the reason the audio is such a big thing is because when people were play testing Left 4 Dead 2, right, they complained about one thing. Guess what? The audio. In the middle of a horde, it's very hard to hear the special infected. That was the big issue. They couldn't hear them, so they couldn't prepare to take them down. So that's why they added the piano cues, right? That's why they added the sound cues, so that if you couldn't hear the special infected through the horde, you heard the music. You heard the cues for every individual special infected. That's why that's there. It's not just for flair. There's a reason. And that was a big issue with Back for Blood. In Back for Blood, I don't know, maybe it's better now, but at the beginning, when it came out, that was the big issue, right? I could never tell when there was a special infected coming because the zombies were loud as hell, basically, right? Or if there was a horde, I couldn't prepare for them. And to be honest, they're not as great. They're not as I would say special sounding or different sounding as the ones that you hear in Left 4 Dead 2, right? And 1. Like those, you hear the boomer, it's always the boomer. You already know. Like you know as soon as you hear them. But yeah, I don't know. This is stupid point.
Given that only a small portion of the Crobcat video was actually dedicated to meaningful gameplay differences, the remaining almost 2 minutes, let's talk about those, shall we? Left 4 Dead 2 has 8 specials. The Witch, the Tank, the Boomer, the Charger, the Hunter, the Smoker, the Jockey, and the Spitter. Immediately you can try to make connections between some of these as the original video did, but let's take a look at all of Back 4 Blood specials. First, we have... That leaves us with 23
I didn't even know those things existed. That's
total
crazy.
special infected, with each having different abilities and having to be dealt with accordingly. The depth here is incredible, and Left 4 Dead 2 doesn't hold a candle to it.
Alright, here's another stupid point. Not surprising so far. You don't need that many. Like, and earlier you said that, with Back 4 Blood, it's trial and error, and, you can learn from shit. How the hell are you supposed to learn from 23 specials? How do you learn and counter all of them unless you have like 100 or so hours in the game? Like, because there's so many. How are you supposed to learn all that? How? Not to mention the big thing here, which is less is more sometimes, man. And here, less is more. With 8 special infected, they've covered everything you could do and countered it in Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. Right? I mean, Left 4 Dead 1 only has, like, I think 4 or 5. Something like that. Because there's the Boomer, Smoker, Hunter, Tank, and the Witch. Right? Yeah, it's like 5 special infected. And there's, the 8 in Left 4 Dead 2. But in Left 4 Dead 2, they cover every situation. If you're too close together with your squad, they got the Spitter, right? Spitter, then you have to separate, or they got, the Jockey for pulling someone away. Same thing with, the Smoker. The difference is that the Jockey can control you, right? Whereas the Smoker pulls you in a single line. But he does it, fast, whereas with the Jockey, he can't pull you away as fast because you can struggle against him, but he's still going to get you away from your friends when, they really need you. Like, and if you're bunched up again and there's no, Spitter around, then they got the Charger, right? He's going to ram right through you, grab one of your homies, and because, he's big, he basically, pretty much launches everyone away. So he can, do some damage before you can get up fast enough to help. Sometimes, depending on the situation, right? Like if there's zombies around. If there's not zombies around, usually you can help your teammate before he gets hurt by the Charger too much. But yeah, like it's the 8 special infected cover enough. And because there's 8, you're always going to be able to recognize very quickly what they are and how to deal with them. With 23 different special infected, that's cool for Back 4 Blood, but that's honestly too much. You're not going to be able to deal with them accordingly every time, because you're going to be figuring them out like way later. This is stupid. This is a stupid comparison. Less is more in this case. Like, honestly, with a lot of what he's been saying here, it honestly sounds like he really thinks that more is better. I don't know. We'll see, but nah, bro. This is not a good comparison. Not even a good point.
Somewhat related, Left 4 Dead 2 has 33 different weapons. That's a sizable amount, and I commend it for its variety, but Back 4 Blood has 42 different weapons.
Yeah, okay, it really does seem like this guy is basically just saying Back 4 Blood has more, so it's better. Not the case. And it's not even that big of a difference between the weapon sizes, the amount of weapons between Left 4 Dead 2 and Back 4 Blood, so I don't know, this is stupid.
And on top of that, each weapon can be upgraded. Starting from white to green to blue to purple gives most weapons a clear upgrade system. As well, it diversifies your selection. Also, guns can have attachments. Some guns can only hold 2, but most can hold 4, with these attachments doing anything from increasing your magazine size or giving you a red dot, all the way to actually doing more damage or letting you run faster. Let's imagine a scenario. You have a gun, and you find another one on the floor. You have to think about which to take. Say this happens in Left 4 Dead 2. You have two things to think about. First, do I want to use this gun? Maybe you prefer blowing heads off with a shotgun, and would prefer not to spray an Uzi. Next, what's the damage output? Well, you'd have to actually go to an external source to find that.
No, you don't. And honestly, the damage output really doesn't matter. The only difference is that there's, I think, 3 weapon tiers between all of Left 4 Dead 2, right? Like, there's the starting weapons you usually have, then there's the tier 2 weapons, which, are obviously better, because, it's usually like assault, because you go from a shotgun and an Uzi to an assault rifle and, like semi-automatic shotguns, and I think maybe even like a sniper, and then you have like the final tier weapons, which is, still semi-automatic shotguns, but it's like way better. To assault rifles, some of them like burst. Well, I don't know if that's like a tier 2 or 3. But like you get better weapons, better snipers, better melee weapons, stuff like that. I think tier 3 would be something like a chainsaw in a melee weapon variety. Like, that's the difference, and that's pretty much all you need. Like, you don't need all this other shit, right? Like, there is no damage output thing. You don't need that graph. You really don't. All of them are viable. That's part of the charm of Left 4 Dead 2 is it's not that complicated. Less is more. That is a lesson you're gonna need to learn here. Less is more, right? And here, it works. It works, bro. Every weapon works against the zombies. You can use whatever weapon you want, but you probably aren't gonna keep that same shotgun if you can get a better one in Back 4 Blood, which will suck because maybe you really like that shotgun, but now you have to pick up a different one. And that works in some games, but in Left 4 Dead 2, it works just fine. That you can keep the gun the whole way, all the way you want. You probably wouldn't, but if you want, you could keep that pump shotgun the whole time. It's gonna do still a good amount of damage, just not as fast as a semi-automatic would. But if you want, you could keep it. It's okay. That's what makes it great.
Now say this happens in Back 4 Blood. There are many things to think about. 1. Does this gun work with my deck? Some decks are built around specific types of guns, and some cards only work with specific gun types. 2. Will I have enough ammo to use this gun? Guns use different ammo types, and if your team is running 3 shotguns, you might not want to pick up a 4th. You'll all be running out of ammo very quickly. 3. Is this gun a higher quality than my current gun? A base blue Uzi is better than a base green Uzi, but would you prefer a blue Phoenix over a green Barrett? That's up to preference. 4. What attachments do these guns have? Maybe the gun on the floor starts with a bigger magazine, which will allow you to shoot longer, but maybe it has a broken stock, which will slow you down. 5. Is my gun unbolted? If I've paid to unbolt my gun, then I can swap my attachments with the gun on the floor. Perhaps I don't even actually loot the gun, and I just steal its attachments and leave it there.
Alright, and herein lies the problem. Alright, first things first. The rarity shit that, Back 4 Blood has, it ain't fucking special, man. This is in a bunch of other games, and usually it's pretty shitty. Like, the only one of the games that I can remember where I really liked the rarity was something like Borderlands 2. That shit was fun. But, like, this rarity system is not, unique to Back 4 Blood. It's everywhere, man. So, I don't know. That's not even really a good point. It's really only if you like that type of stuff. And I feel like in a game like this, it's whatever. And honestly, it kind of makes it boring. Kind of makes it annoying. Because you have to keep switching. You're basically going to keep switching weapons depending on, the rarity. If it's better, you're going to grab it. Unless you got like the whole cards or decks or whatever the fuck. As for everything else, I think you need to realize that thinking about all this shit that you got to think about when you get to a pile of guns and ammo, it stops you from playing the game, right? Like, you're not shooting zombies anymore. You're not progressing through the map. You're not having fun. You could say this is a little different type of fun, but in my opinion, it stops you from having fun. It stops you from and it's not this part is an opinion, but this stuff literally stops you from playing the game. It messes up the flow of the game. With Left 4 Dead 2, you don't have this problem. With Left 4 Dead 2, you just grab the weapon you want, or if you already have your weapon, you grab ammo and you go. Simple as that. Like it's super easy and simple. You don't have to deliberate. The only difference, the only time that it kind of matters is if, it's the limited weapons, right? Which is, pretty much anytime you see a weapon in the middle of a level, right? Because in the beginning the weapons are infinite, but mid-level, any weapons you find out on the field, if you grab it, that's it. Nobody else can grab that type of weapon. So, I mean, well, for the most part, I think there are some times where you can grab the same weapons, but that's it. Like, it's you grab it and you go. You keep up the pace. Whereas here in Back for Blood, it stops you. It's dead stop. So, I don't know. I think you could see which one is better. Like, you say that, Left 4 Dead 2 controls you. I don't know. I'd say that Back for Blood controls you a lot harder in that way, because you have to stop. You're literally stopped dead in your tracks because you have to, debate all this stuff with your friends, with your teammates. That's just what it looks like to me, man.
DPS. Never mind the fact that if you're playing Back 4 Blood, you can always just ignore all of this and choose a gun the same way you would in Left 4 Dead 2.
Absolutely fucking not. That is a lie. That honestly, and you know what? That's weird because that just contradicts what you were saying earlier about how you need to deliberate on, if this gun works with your cards. Like, no, bro, you don't just pick whatever gun. You cannot start with a gun that you have in, the beginning of a level and continue on from there. Like, maybe you can if you're like super fucking good, but no, honestly, you can't. Like, the whole game pushes you to work with this system. You can't just use whatever guns like you can in Left 4 Dead 2. There's a whole system in place that you can't ignore. You're just lying at that point. Like, you're literally just lying. I've played the fucking game. I played it for, I don't know, 6-7 hours. That's a decent amount of time for that type of game. You cannot ignore, the guns and just get whatever gun you want. It's not how it works, man. And you literally proved it yourself, but somehow you're saying that you can. This is crazy.
Back 4 Blood puts a lot of time and effort into making the gameplay satisfying. Everything involves strategy and quick thinking. I never want to get caught out of position in case a horde is called. I'm always checking rooms for copper lying around that I can use later to buy supplies. Neither of these are present in Left 4 Dead 2 because in Left 4 Dead 2, the creators wanted to make a movie. You play the movie Left 4 Dead 2.
This piece of garbage is lying through his teeth, bro. Or something, like, because I know this guy hasn't played the game. I know. There's no other explanation behind this opinion. But let me address what you just said, right? So you just said that basically all those examples that you just gave, Left 4 Dead 2 doesn't have. This is insane. Like, no, the developers did not spend their time only making it a movie. They spent their time on the gameplay. They spent so much time on the gameplay. That's why this game still has 20,000 plus, people playing it every day on Steam, and I'm guarantee you there's just as much, playing it on console to this day because it's such an amazing game. Gameplay. The gameplay is freaking timeless. Like, this is insane to say, and all the stuff that you said, Left 4 Dead 2 does have, like the getting caught out of a horde. That happens all the fucking time. There's times where, a horde's coming, and if you're alone, a special infected will get you. The horde's gonna beat your ass, or one half of the horde's gonna beat your ass, while the other half is taking, is taking on your whole crew. Or if you're unlucky, you're fighting a horde on your own, and they're surrounding you, and you're too tired from pushing, so now you're getting beat up, and then, your homies, they get caught up by, like, some boomer or something, right? Or a charger. Like, this happens all the time. As for the whole exploring bit, what are you talking about, man? Yes, you do. You can explore. In fact, it's encouraged that you explore from the main path. You don't just, what is this man thinking? Like, you don't just go in a straight line, right? Like, you could, but it makes the game harder. The game rewards you for exploring around the level, because instead of points for a shop, you can get supplies. You can get supplies like med kits, pills, adrenaline. You can get, Molotovs, pipe bombs, boomer bottles. You could get weapons. You could get ammo. Like, this stuff is in Left 4 Dead. I have no idea what the hell you're saying, man. This is crazy.
Every playthrough is the same, and every player has the same experience as every other.
Oh my gosh, bro. There's they don't have the same experience. That's why there's so many damn people playing, because it's a new experience every time. Hence the replayability. That's literally what the director is for. The director is so that you don't have the same experience. Okay? And you know this. Like, you know what it does, but somehow you're forgetting in this instance. But the director exists solely for that reason. So that you keep replaying Left 4 Dead 2, no matter how many times you play it, it'll never be the same experience. The only same experience is that you're always going to be shooting zombies. You're always going to be killing special infected. You're going to be using the same weapons, same everything every time. You can say that about literally any game. You could literally say this about any game, including your own game. They're not endlessly adding things, so you will always experience the same cards. Maybe not the same in every single level, but they're never going to work on the game forever. So eventually you're going to start repeating some cards, bro. Like, what are you talking about? This is crazy. This is crazy. I don't know how this man exists. This is insane. This video is insane.
In Back 4 Blood, you can play the same level as a sniper DPS role or a melee doc, as an aggro alert all the hordes pusher, or a stealthy disarm the alarms ninja.
Yeah, here's the issue with that, and that's that all of that isn't available to you at the start, right? Like, and maybe it is now, but at launch, which is what we're going to be going with a lot because that's the most I played, at launch, you didn't have any of that. In fact, I think probably now the game hasn't unlocked everything for you, so you're going to be spending a lot of in-game currency or your real money in order to get all these cards, which will allow you to get these builds, right? And there's another video I saw about this. I think it's like TJ, what was it, like TJ Donkey Style? Great fucking name, bro. And he has a point on this, right? Which his point was that when it was at launch, there was basically one specific level that you played with a specific build so that you could farm, so that you could actually make more builds. Now, I didn't do that because I'm not really with the community, when I play a game. I just play the games with my brothers. So I don't know about farming or nothing. I was just trying to have fun, which I wasn't having because the game is shit. Right? And there you go. There's your answer, bro. You really can't. The game is limiting, unlike Left 4 Dead 2, which doesn't limit you. In fact, it gives you more control than you're saying, which is insane. Like, this is crazy. But yeah, like, there you go.
Back 4 Blood does have a story, and even individual character backstories, which is even more impressive given that it has 11 characters, each with their own abilities, compared to Left 4 Dead 2's 4 identical characters.
Yeah, this is already stupid too. So, Left 4 Dead does have a story though, and it's not something that you really need to care about, but it's there, right? Like, you can care about the story, but it's nothing crazy, but it's there, and the game really isn't harping on the story because it doesn't need to, right? And as for the whole characters thing, less is more, man. All your 11 characters, nobody gives a fuck, but they remember all these 8 survivors from Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 because they're all iconic and they're all super memorable, whereas I don't give a shit and remember any of the characters from Back 4 Blood. Nobody does. Nobody cares except for Back 4 Blood fans. But you cannot describe a character from Back 4 Blood to anybody and they will know. But if you describe Ellis, if you describe Lewis, if you describe any one of the other characters, they're going to immediately know. You show a picture, they're going to know, right? It's just not a good comparison, man. I'm just telling you. Another thing to add to the whole character thing real quick is that with all those different characters in Back 4 Blood, the way the game is made, you cannot just play them because you want to play them, because they have a different type of play style, right? You can't go guns blazing as certain characters because they don't really go for that type of play style. You could use the build for that, but they all have different abilities. you have to kind of choose the character that, will work best with your team. You can't just play them just because you want them. With Left 4 Dead, that's the magic. The magic is that you don't pick Ellis, Rochelle, Coach, or Nick because they give you a specific ability, right? You pick them because they're cool, because you like them. You like them as a character, so you pick them. That's it. Like it lets you. Oh my god! I don't know. This is crazy. This is crazy, bro. But there you go.
The Krobcat video does a great job of playing up the role of story in the development of Left 4 Dead 1, but makes no mention of Left 4 Dead 2. Why is that?
So here you're missing the point, right? It's a pretty simple point, but yeah, I mean, basically the reason why he's not talking about Left 4 Dead 2 isn't because the story is shit or whatever, in comparison to Left 4 Dead 1. It's because Valve basically made Left 4 Dead 1, right? Like I said, Crocat fucking puts it in his video, but Turtle Rock came up with the idea, they made the game, but Valve improved upon it. Like it was pretty much just going to be like Counter-Strike with zombies, but Valve made it way better in the way that it is. So he's comparing Valve's involvement with Turtle Rock making Left 4 Dead and Turtle Rock making their basically Left 4 Dead game alone, right? And that's what Back 4 Blood is. Back 4 Blood is Turtle Rock only making the game, and the comparison with Left 4 Dead is Valve helping with the game. They're completely different, and you can see why, right? Left 4 Dead 1 is Valve's influence, and Back 4 Blood is solely with the Turtle Rock, right? There you go, simple.
Well, having played Left 4 Dead 2, it's because there is none. You play as 4 people who just happen to live next to each other.
No, they don't live together, and it's super fucking simple. I mean, if you just look at the damn cutscene, like, all of them are together because they were heading towards the evacuation point. You could see it in the cutscene. There's a flare, and they talk about it. Like, that is crazy. But there's also, whatchamacallit, their introductions to each other, where you can find out that they don't live together, they don't know each other, they don't know anything about each other. They don't live at that place. I mean, freaking Rochelle lives in another state. She's a reporter from another state. Like, they don't know. It's not convenient. It's just that they're the only ones that survived trying to get to the extraction zone
And need to be rescued. And that's about it. There's no story goals beyond the occasional, hey, get me my beer, and I never really felt like I saw into the personality of any of the characters.
So with the story aspect, it's made so that you could basically play any level whenever you want, right? Like, and here's the thing: there is a story. Every campaign is made so that you could play it whenever you want. They have their own self-contained story, but there is an overarching story. But you don't need to care about that. Why? Because it's for fun. You play the game for fun. You play it. You can play whatever the hell you want, and you can you'll follow the story within it, and it works. It works. You don't need to you don't need to play a specific certain amount of levels, right? You don't need to go from dead center to the bottom. I mean, if you want to get the whole story in order, then you could, but you really don't need to. You play how you want. That's what makes it great. And as for the personality thing, you get the whole personality in while you're playing if you pay attention, or in the trailer, in a clever way, with how they interact with each other. But if you haven't seen the personalities yet, that's on you. Right? Like that's straight up on you. You're just not paying attention on purpose.
On the contrary, there are a multitude of storylines in Back 4 Blood going on at the same time. Christine is named Mom because her son died on a rescue mission, and the others call her that since no one else is going to. Evangelo is new to cleaning, and the first level is actually his first mission. Hoffman accidentally got his middle school teacher killed when she slipped on his backpack down the stairs. Jim's brother drowned in the river when they were younger. Walker used to be in the military, but never really had a family until now. The backstory about the cleaners that you can find on any given playthrough goes pretty deep, but, you'd have to actually play the game to know that.
Oh my god, here we go. So, everyone, like, in order to have really good characters, you have to have tragic ass backstories. That's pretty much, what I'm getting from this. No, but another thing is the whole, you have to play the game. Like, shut the hell up, bro. Stop being condescending with that shit. And the last thing here is that this shit don't like. This is shit that you definitely did not get from playing the fucking game. In fact, I know all this shit because of the trailer, right? Because in the intro, or not, it's not in the intro. In the trailer for the game, they tell you all this shit. Like, and I'm not gonna show you because I don't really care to, but just watch the trailer. Just watch the trailer. I'm not taking anything out of context. I'm not lying. Just watch the trailer, and you have the girl, the main girl, narrating everything. She tells you how she is. She tells you that black guy's a veteran and that he's a really good shot. Like, they tell you all this because they don't know how to write it in, right? Because that's they're not really good at writing, unlike what you would like to believe. But like every shit writer, they tell you everything to your face instead of letting you know. Whereas in Left 4 Dead, they don't tell it to your face. They have the characters make conversation, and then you can get their personality from that. You could learn that they're good at shit from that, right? Unlike in here, like in the trailers for Left 4 Dead 2, you wouldn't know that Rochelle is a reporter until you actually play the game and you hear her talk about it. Like, I didn't know that until I played the damn game. So, yeah. Whereas in the trailer for Back 4 Blood, you could literally have the main girl explaining everybody's personality, man. Like, no, you're just wrong.
Finally, here's a rapid-fire list of complaints I had while playing Left 4 Dead 2. Where do I start? And why are there so many levels?
Oh my god, bro. So the whole video has you been basically going, Back 4 Blood has more, and Left 4 Dead 2 has less, therefore it's better. Which is stupid argument. But the one time that Left 4 Dead 2 has more, it's worse. What? You're a fucking hypocrite. Simple. And it's just, I don't know, this is crazy, man. I'm losing my mind here. I'm losing my mind at how insane this guy is. His reasonings don't make any fucking sense. And if you want to know where to start, it doesn't matter. Start whatever level you want, and you're gonna have fun. That's where you fucking start, where the fuck you want. Because guess what? Valve lets you do that. Whereas with Back 4 Blood, it don't. You have to start at the beginning and you play through the end. And Left 4 Dead, you play wherever you want.
Oh wait, it's because there are 3 different storylines. And actually, technically, the second storyline comes before the first storyline. And the third storyline isn't even canon?
I mean, this is getting exhausting, but very simple explanations, man. So, Left 4 Dead 1's story, or the second storyline, as you say, comes after the first one, because this was DLC that was added way later, so that's why it's there. And if you want to start, then you play Left 4 Dead 1's story, then you do Left 4 Dead 2, and then, well, the third one, yeah, you do whatever you want. But that's only if you want to. I mean, like I said before, you don't fucking have to, man. You play whatever the fuck you want. If you feel like playing that one level, that one story, you do it. There you go.
Well, actually, it doesn't matter who you pick. They all do the same thing, which is nothing.
I basically already said it before, but that's part of what makes it great, because there's no reason to pick any of the characters, gameplay-wise. You just pick them because you like them, right? My favorite character is Coach. I pick him because I like him. He's funny. He's Coach. He's fucking dope. My second favorite is like Nick. Third's Ellis, and fourth is Rochelle. But yeah, like you pick him just because you like him, man. Whereas in Back 4 Blood, you have to pick one if you want to do a certain, build or whatever, like the best, right? Which is limiting.
Taking damage completely disorients your reticle. What the hell is even happening to me?
This one's simple. When you're getting punched in the face, so it's going to be harder to aim. But no, gameplay-wise, this is so that you're getting hurt. Whereas something in like Back 4 Blood, my big problem when I played it right back at launch was that I didn't even know I was getting hurt by some zombies sometimes. Like, yes, there's ways to tell, but it wasn't enough for me to really know. And so I would be getting hit. I didn't even know a zombie was hitting me. while I'm trying to take down, like, special infected or another horde or something. Whereas in Left 4 Dead, they make you recoil from the hits so that you absolutely know that you're being hit, and then you can react. There you go. Simple, but it's effective. Whereas in Back 4 Blood, they don't really have anything like that.
Anyway, those are my opinions on Left 4 Dead 2. I think going into it expecting it to be a game like Back 4 Blood was a mistake. Personally didn't have fun, but it also doesn't matter because it's just a movie. I want to watch a movie though. I wanted to play a game and I don't really feel like I did.
Yeah, man, it feels like you played a movie because from my perspective of the gameplay in your video, it looks like you didn't even fucking play the game right, man. All I've seen you do in your gameplay is shoot zombies, and you haven't even shot in hordes. That's all I've seen. It's like you have mods that removed hordes. You're playing on super easy. You have no special infected. And it looks like you didn't even beat Dead Center. Like, you didn't even beat the whole campaign. I don't see any mall gameplay. So yeah, you played this for like half an hour at most, maybe an hour, I don't know, and you didn't fucking play anything. That's why it feels like a movie. Part of the other reason why it feels like a movie, in your opinion, is because you didn't want to fucking like this game. You played it not wanting to like it, so you ended up not liking it. Like, this is all on you. Okay? Like, this is not the fault of the game. The game is great. It's amazing. It's a quintillion times better than Back 4 Blood will ever be. And that's why you're so salty. That's why you made this damn video. So, yeah. Honestly, you could have just said you prefer Back 4 Blood and nobody would have cared. There's some people who probably would, but that's them, all right? That's the minority. Everyone else does not give a shit if you like Back 4 Blood. But you making this video shitting all over Left 4 Dead 2, that's the issue, right? And also, the other issue is because none of these criticisms are fucking valid. They're not. They're just not. You're just hating on it, man. That's literally it. Like, you're literally just a hater, And I don't use that word lightly, but you really just are. This, I don't know. This is just crazy, man. But yeah, that's the end of the video. My response. I don't really got much to say. This guy, he he's crazy, man. He is crazy. Like, I mean, I was expecting maybe him to say something that made sense, but no, he did not. Nothing he said made any fucking sense, and it didn't work. It didn't work. But yeah, so that's it. Hey, you know what? If you like this video, then like, subscribe, and well, I'm not gonna say for more because these videos probably aren't gonna be put out that often because I don't really know any topics to talk about. But if you like my personality so far, then like and subscribe to see more of me, right? Because I'm going to be putting out like a lot of game, videos, or at least as often as I can. I mean, I'm streaming a decent amount on Twitch now. But yeah, I'm going to be focusing on putting out, some videos on me playing some games here and there, like Chambers the Outlaw, which is that game that's made by that guy, JFJ. I mean, it's not just him, right? It's not like he's working with, I think, Mr. Pink, right? Which is the guy who made Golden Light. You probably don't even know Golden Light, but yeah, so different. But yeah, or I don't know. I'm gonna do other stuff, but yeah, I don't got much else to say. Like, and so I already said that. Just see you next video, I guess. Yeah.